All right, guys, welcome back again to another exciting tutorial. So today we want to, go through what module PIP really means. All right, so before I proceed, what is module in Python? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, hold on a sec. Let's take a look. What is module in Python? In a real life comparison, imagine you're cooking a dinner. Instead of growing your own vegetable, you go to market to bring ingredients and are already prepared. So all you have to do is just to go through a particular place where you can find all those things and bring it into whatever things you're doing, cooking you're doing, and get it done. So that's how module really means. Modules are just those pro code that has been written that you are not seeing, but it's just there inside Python that you can just import into your code and make it, do whatever you want to do. So in Python module, a module is like a toolbox or package, all right, of code that someone else has already written and you can use it in your own program. So that is what it means. So we have a lot depending on what you want to do. If you want to really find out more, you can Google and search for modules. But I wouldn't advise you to do that right now. I want you to have mastered how to use it before you start looking at different kind of modules that you can use to solve different kind of problems. So imagine if some code has been written already for you at the background, so all you have to do is just to import it. So that is what it means. All right, without no further ado, let's look at what modules do. All right, modules can perform basically some calculations, like do some math for you, undo anything that has to do with date and time, and also work with random numbers. And sometimes if you want to connect your code to the internet, maybe you want to access some APIs, you can also use modules. All right, what are APIs? Don't really get confused about that. It is not for today's class. Just focus that modules are just some kind of code that have been written on the ground that you can just import and do whatever you want to do, like performing basic mathematical calculation, doing some random numbers, working on date and time. All right, so that is what it means. All right, let's see if we can perform some kind of modules, all right, with mathematics. So, all right, since we said it is a pre-built code, so all you have to do is just to import it on your code. So you're going to use import keywords. Like I say, import. So the moment you put import, what do you want to import? Because we want to import math. Yep, so you just have to say import math. All right, that's brilliant. So then if you now say import math, what do you want to do in mathematics? What are the things that you think it is going to be quite complex that you might just want to do without imagining how to do some calculation? Let's say, for instance, I'm always very scared of finding the square root of something. So if I say square root of 144, square root of 144, what is square root of 144? All right, let's just figure it out. So I want you to print the square root of 144 for me. All right, because I've already, import math, so it's going to be quite easy. I'm just going to say that math, and I'm going to say square root is SQRT. I didn't really cram this. It's because I've been using it. That is why I know that there is a math function that is called SQRT that can perform some basic square root. All right, I can just say 144. So the moment I do this, that is that. So then I can run the code and let's see it. So it gives me 12.0. Yeah, what if I want to probably find what is pi? I remember when we were doing circumference of a circle, when you just have pi r square, So what is that pi itself? Let's check it out. I think pi is 22 divided by 7 or 3.142. But let's check it out whether Python will understand that. So I want you to print pi for me, and I wouldn't just say pi, I would just say math.pi. If you are really scared about mathematics, no need to worry. I'm just trying to tell you how it means. You can see it gives us 3.14. By the time you try to round up this to a whole number, it's going to give you 3.142. That's brilliant. All right, so that's how to use module. Just import, and when you use import, whatever things, because you want to perform some kind of basic mathematical calculations, you'll be able to do that. All right, so that is that. So how to really use that's how to use module. Anyways, I just give you a typical example. So if you want to know how to use module, so this is just going to be like something that I really want you to know. It's not code. Just type import, okay, and the module name, module name. So that is what we did. Okay, so but there are some module name that also require something. Let's say, for instance, or let me just put it this way. You might want to, import modules and at the same time import something inside that module. So you can say from, I'm going to explain to you what it means from the module name, maybe module underscore name. I'm going to explain, don't worry. Module name, import something. So you can be seeing it like this. So you can see we use from here and the module name and import something. So module is like, there are some modules that have complex code that inside of them, they have functions. So this is what it means. This is mathematics, okay? It is a module, all right? So this math has a function. You know, when we're dealing with function, we say function has open and close bracket. So if you want to import it directly, you can easily say from this module, which is from mathematics, import square root. That is what it means. So module is a complex code that contains, a lot of classes. a lot of functions. Modules is a collection of codes that contains a lot of functions. Okay. So if you do this, if you import the module, you can import, if you say from the module, you can import the functions. So if you just want to import the module straight up, just say import modules. I believe you understand that. So that is what it means. All right. So we have different type of modules, like I said. So all you have to do is just to import them. They are there, but you can't just be importing modules anyhow. You have to import whatever you need from Python. I just perform basic mathematical calculations. Maybe as we move on in this tutorial, I might decide to perform some basic random number calculations, okay, because of time. So then that's what it means. So now what I really want you to understand again is that built-in modules versus external modules. You can decide to create your own modules yourself, and you can decide to probably create your own module, or you can decide to have external module. Like there are built-in modules and there are ones that will create. I don't want to explain that right now. Okay, I just want you to know, but I'm just going to delete it. There are some modules that you can decide to create on your own, which we are going to subsequently explain in the future. And there are some modules that you have to impute. Okay, but right now let's focus on the one we are imputing. All right. So that is that. So another thing I would like to explain is that what is PIP? Now there are some things that you really need to know about Python. There are some things, or let me put it this way. PIP are like an app store for Python. That is the best way I can explain it. Yeah, like they are just like in a real life, it's just like you have an app that can perform something and you are importing it into your application. This is not just code, it's perform something very, very powerful. So, but before you make use of that, you need to install them on your program. So that's why, in module we are importing, but when it comes to using libraries, you have to use PIP. All right. Okay, so good. So what I mean by this is that we have modules, we have libraries. So if you want to install libraries, you use what? PIP install. So those are the things we normally use to install something on our code. I'm going to explain as we move on. So just know that PIP simply means, what it means is that we have PIP install package that we normally use it package install. It's just like a package installer. All right. Okay, good. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to install something and I'm going to see how exactly it means. All right. Hold on a sec. So what I want you to understand is that, it's a package installer, like a package manager. So sometimes some people call it PIP install packages. All right. It's an acronym. Just note that for short. Okay. So what I want to do right now is that I just want to install one, and I don't want to tell you what it means. Like we're going to be using it in our data visualization and analysis, and that is pandas. So pandas we normally use to clean data. Is a library. So what we'll do right now is that example of an external module is request. Or let me just put it there, like PIP install pandas. All right. So the moment you do this, Yeah, the moment you do this, that means you have successfully installed pandas. PIP install pandas. So you are going to use this keyword PIP. Whatever things you want to install, you type install and you have to now install it. All right. So we normally use it to install things like libraries in our code. So imagine if I want to do data cleaning or data analysis, then Panda is a library that we normally use to do such. So because I need pandas in my application right now, all I have to do is just to use PIP to install that pandas. So imagine if I clicked it and I say I want to run the code. Yeah, let's see what is going to happen. Okay, let's hold on. All right, let's hold on. I think it's running. So that is exactly what it means. It means you are running a pandas on your what? On your machine. So sometimes you can see requirement already satisfied because I've successfully installed Panda before. If you have not installed Panda before on your computer, you're going to see downloading and installing. All right, so that is what it means. So just understand that PIP is normally used to install something on our program. All right, so Python has a built-in module called random that lets you work with random numbers. So before we did not really talk about, when we were talking about modules, we didn't really talk about random numbers. So I was like, let me just add more ideas to how to, use modules. So let's take a look at it. So let's take this example number 1. It said generate a random number between 1 and 10. That sounds really complex, but it's really easy. So let's just do that. I'm just going to say, I'm going to say import, because I want to import random. I'm going to say import random. The moment I do that, definitely I have imported the module, and then I'm going to create a variable called number, and then I'll say the number variable that I've created should have a random module, and that random module will now have a random int. So what I'm saying is that I want to create a random integer function from the module. Module always contain functions. And function is this. So then I want to say between 1 and 10. So the moment I do that, I can easily print this number out, and it's going to generate number 1 to 10 for me instead of me to disturb myself. I'm going to say yeah, and I'm just supposed to print. So if I can print, I can just put number, random number between 1 and 10. Okay, random number between 1 and 10. So the moment I do that, okay, sorry, I think I have to make sure that it is inside the quote. We have to link them together, and then I can say number. So the moment I do this, let's see what will happen. Okay, something happened. Random number between 1 and 10. There's something I missed. Okay, all right, I think I've seen it. Okay, number. You can see it prints out the number between 1 and 10 for me. Basically, that is what it means. All right, so that is exactly what I wanted to see. You can see example 2, pick a random item from the list. You can do that as well, and it's really easy. Let's create a list of fruits like we always do. I just want to create more code so that you understand. Fruits equals, and then we'll have a list of lot of fruits, and say this is mango, banana, apple, cherry. Mango. Let's do it right now. Okay, mango, banana, apple, and cherry. Banana, apple, cherry. All right, imagine if I just want to probably choose something at random. All right, since I have this fruit, I can say I want to choose, but before that, let's import the random number. I just want you to get used to using import anyways, because we're going to use it a lot. Because we have imported this module, then I can use it in my code. I can say choosing to be equals to, then I'll just call that random again. I'll say dot. Then because I need to choose, now there's a function called choice. Don't worry, it's because I've probably been using it before. You can probably Google it and say choice in random module. Choice in random module in Python. So I don't want to waste your time. You can see. So it is there, random.choice. It's because I've been using it, that is why I know that it exists. It's not as if I'm cramming and I'm picking something from my head. So I'm just going to say fruits. All right, so then I can use this chosen, okay? And I will say print chosen. That's just as simple as that, print chosen. So the moment I do this, let me paste it. And let's run the code. You can see this one gives me apple. If I run it, it gives me mango. If I run it, it gives me banana. If I run it, it gives me banana again. If I run it, let me run it again. It gives me mango. So it keeps giving me that at random. All right, that is what it means. So let's try to work on another example. So let me just stop the program for now. I don't want to bore you with a lot of code. Just understand that we have modules, and modules are those things, chunks of code that are already inside our Python that we import. And modules always contain lots of functions. It is those functions we are using together with a module that makes it to be like a magic. And don't forget that PIP is what we normally use to install libraries on our program or on our project or inside our applications. If you can master this, then you have successfully understand the modules and what? And PIP. All right, in the next tutorial, we're going to dive into something more awesome. I'm looking at file handling, and trust me, it's going to be an exciting journey. And until then, see you in the next one.